Imagine waking up in the morning and realizing that the world you know has simply ceased to exist. Without warning, no chance to prepare. You wake up at 6:47 in the morning. You try to turn on the light. Nothing. The power must have gone out. You think, normal, right? So you pick up your cell phone to check the time. Black screen, you press the button. Nothing. You try to charge it. The charger doesn't work. You go to the window and look out at the street. The cars are stopped in the middle of the avenue, some with their doors open. People get out, confused, looking at their cell phones as if they could provide some kind of answer. Silence. A silence unlike anything you've ever heard in a big city. No engine, no air conditioning, no noise from a television leaking through the neighbor's window, and then you understand. This is no ordinary blackout. This is an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, a single detonation at an altitude of 400 kilometers. And that's it. Anything with chips, circuits, electronics is dead. Science fiction? It was, until 2025. American intelligence agencies have confirmed the capability to launch EMP attacks already exists in the hands of multiple adversaries: China, Russia, North Korea, Iran. And the scariest part? A single high-altitude detonation can disable the entire United States power grid for months or even years. Is that really so? Our electrical grid is more vulnerable, our dependence on technology remains the same, and our collective preparedness is zero. Now answer me honestly, if this happened right now, this very second, what would you do? Do you know where your flashlight is? How many days' worth of water do you have stored? Would your car start? Would you be able to communicate with your family? The U.S. Congressional Commission on EMP estimated that 90% of people would not be prepared. For what comes next? 90%. This means that out of every 10 people you know, 9 would completely panic. And panic, I tell you from experience, panic kills faster than hunger. People running aimlessly, fighting over a bottle of water, making stupid decisions out of desperation, losing everything for lack of a simple plan. That's 90%. But you clicked on this video. You are here. And that already puts you in a different group. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to get out of the 90% who suffer and into the 10% who survive. Not with theories, with practical actions that you can implement today, even without spending almost anything. If you stay until the end, you'll never be caught off guard again. I am Christian, and I've been studying crisis preparedness since 2013, not because I'm paranoid, but because in 2013 I saw my family go through a difficult situation that should have been simple: a storm. 3 days without power, and we had nothing prepared. From that day forward, I was never caught by surprise again. And today I'm going to show you 8 critical actions that separate those who survive from those who suffer when the net falls. These are not theories, these are field-tested protocols, and they work. But before taking the first step, I need to tell you what happened in February 2021 in Texas, because that was a dress rehearsal for the apocalypse. And most people learned this lesson the hard way. Some didn't have a chance to learn anything. Texas. February 2021, a historic cold wave knocked out power lines across the state. Temperatures of -18 degrees, houses without heating, pipes bursting, water freezing inside the taps. In 4 days, more than 200 people died. Not because of the cold, due to a lack of preparation. Entire families found huddled together on mattresses, trying to keep warm with their own bodies. People who died of hypothermia inside their homes. Elderly people who froze, waiting for help that never came. And do you know what the most common mistake was? People thought it was a normal blackout. You should be back in a few hours. I'll wait a little longer. I don't need to exaggerate. When they realized the gravity of the situation, it was already too late. Christian, this is the first secret that separates those who survive from those who suffer. The speed of your reaction determines your fate. And to react quickly, you need one thing above all: correct diagnosis. Because a regular blackout and an EMP require completely different responses. Power outages happen all the time. Before activating your full emergency protocol, confirm what you are experiencing. Here is the checklist. First step, go out and observe. Go to the window or door. Look at your neighbors. Are several houses in the dark? Are car alarms going off randomly? Are the street lights out? If only your house is in the dark, it's probably a problem with your network. Relax. But if the whole block is dead, Continue the diagnosis. Second step, test your neighbor. This is where things get serious. Try starting your neighbor's car. If yours won't start and neither will theirs, and both were working minutes ago, that's your first indicator. Modern cars are computers on wheels. If an EMP hit them, they would instantly become scrap metal. Third step, test battery devices. Does your wristwatch work? Does your flashlight turn on? But if your cell phone, laptop, and car are simultaneously dead, not just turned off, but completely unresponsive, you're probably experiencing an electromagnetic event. This is EMP. Listen carefully. This confirmation matters because your answer changes everything. In a typical blackout, you conserve your energy, wait, and don't panic. In an EMP, emergency medical plan, you activate all preparedness measures immediately because help won't arrive for weeks, possibly months. Do you understand the difference? In a typical blackout, you wait sitting down. In an EMP, every minute of waiting costs resources that you will never recover. In 2017, my neighborhood was without power for 4 days after a storm. Half the people treated it like a campsite. The other half panicked on the second day. Do you know what the difference was? Understand the scope of the problem and act accordingly from the start. Whoever diagnosed correctly acted correctly. Those who underestimated suffered unnecessarily. Now, Christian, I'm going to ask you a question that could save your family's life. If you confirm that you are an EMP, what is the first thing you should ensure in the next 30 minutes? It's not food, it's not security, it's not communication. It's something so basic that most people don't even think about it until it's too late. It's an EMP. His heart races. 1,000 thoughts run through his head. Family, safety, food, money. More like breathe. Because now you have a priority, and it's none of those. It's water. And you have less time than you think. Let me explain something that 99% of people don't know. The water that comes out of your tap doesn't appear by magic. It is pumped to her home by systems that rely on, guess what? Electricity. When the power goes out, the bombs stop, but the water doesn't stop instantly. There's residual pressure in the system, like the air left in a punctured balloon. This pressure keeps the water flowing for a while. How long? Once the EMP, emergency medical procedure, is confirmed, water becomes your absolute priority. You have between 30 and 90 minutes before the taps run dry, depending on your city, your neighborhood, the height of your building. It could be less after that. He finished. Urban water systems rely on electric pumps. When these fail, residual pressure keeps the water flowing briefly, then stops. And it won't be back anytime soon. Drop everything. Serious. Stop reading this and go fill containers. That's a lie. Finish reading first to know how to do it right, but understand the urgency. First step, open all the taps and start filling. Pots, pitchers, empty bottles, buckets, clean trash cans, basins, anything that can hold liquid becomes a survival container. Second step, fill the bathtub first. Why? A standard bathtub holds 50 gallons of water. That's almost 200 liters. This is the largest reservoir you have at home, and most people don't even think about it. Close the drain. Turn the tap on full blast, let it fill up while you run to the next fountain. Third step, the hidden treasure that nobody remembers. You know that big cylinder behind your water heater? Your water heater holds between 100 and 200 liters of potable water. It's right there, standing still, clean, ready, but there's a critical detail. Close the inlet valve first. If you don't, when the street pressure drops, the tank will drain back into the system. Did you close the valve? Now you have a reserve that you can access later. Let's do a quick calculation. A family of 4 needs approximately 4 liters per person per day, at a minimum. This is just for drinking. Does it include basic hygiene? Double the price. So a family of 4 needs at least 16 liters a day to survive on the bare minimum. Now imagine, bathtub 200 liters, water heater 150 liters, pots and pans 50 liters, total 400 liters. If you act within the first 30 minutes, you've just secured almost 25 days of clean drinking water for your family. About that, your neighbors will be fighting over bottles in supermarkets that can't even open the cash registers. Remember Texas that I mentioned? The 2021 price freeze taught this lesson in the most brutal way. When the pumps failed due to the cold, people had minutes to act. Those who filled the containers first got through the crisis without major problems. Those who waited melted snow to drink, boiled pool water, begged for help that took days to arrive. Dehydrated children, hospitalized elderly people, entire families without a drop of clean water. And all of this could have been avoided with 30 minutes of immediate action. I know what you're thinking, but Christian, what if the tap water is already contaminated when I get it? Listening, don't complicate things, just fill it all up. You can purify questionable water later. You can't manufacture water out of thin air. Did you understand? Dirty water you can treat, non-existent water you don't have. Take it first, purify it later. Boiling, chlorine. Makeshift filter, there is a solution for dirty water. There is no solution for a dry tap. Your water supply is now guaranteed. You bought time. But while you were filling buckets, another clock started ticking, silently. Inside your kitchen, your refrigerator has just become a ticking time bomb, and you have less than 4 hours before hundreds of Re-A's worth of food turns into toxic waste. In the next chapter, I'll show you the war sorting technique that can turn 3 days worth of food into 3 weeks worth. And the trick of an Iowa farmer who saved meat without electricity for generations. While you were filling buckets and bathtubs, something began to die silently. No noise, no alarm, no warning. Your refrigerator, that engine that hummed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from the day you bought it, it stopped. And now it's no longer a refrigerator, it's a food coffin. I'll be direct. Your refrigerator has just turned into a countdown timer. You have about 4 hours before it basically becomes a cupboard. 4 hours. After that, the internal temperature rises to the danger zone, between 4 and 60 degrees, where bacteria multiply wildly. Your yogurt? Poison in 6 hours. That chicken you were going to make for dinner? Bacterial Russian roulette. The kids' milk? Forget about it. EO freezer? A full freezer will stay frozen for approximately 48 hours if left closed. Half full? Maybe 24 hours. It seems like a long time, doesn't it? It is not, because most people do exactly what they shouldn't do. Do you know what your natural instinct is when the lights go out? Open the refrigerator to see how things are going. Fatal error. Every time you open the door, you lose 10 minutes of cold. 10 minutes. Opening it 3 times out of curiosity. You wasted half an hour. Undecided about what to grab with the door open, 15 more minutes. In 2 hours of, I'll just take a quick look, you've turned 4 hours of valuable life into nothing. In war hospitals, when more wounded arrive than doctors can treat, they use a technique called triage. Patients are classified into 3 groups. They'll survive anyway. You can count on it. They need help now or they will die. Top priority. They won't survive even with help. Let them go. Cruel, yes. Efficient, extremely. Your food now works the same way. Group 1. Eat now or lose. Open the refrigerator once, quickly, decisively. Get rid of anything that spoils first. Ground beef, raw chicken, fish, cold cuts and sausages, yogurt, milk, and eggs that have been in the refrigerator for days. First move, stop opening the refrigerator and freezer. Each door opening costs 10 minutes of cold. Treat them like sealed vaults. This food should be eaten or prepared within the next few hours. Cook everything. Make a quick barbecue. Cook on the gas stove while you still have some. Fry all the eggs. Cooked food lasts longer than raw food. Group 2. Protect the freezer. Your freezer is your survival safe. Don't open it now. Seriously. Resist. But do this. If you have empty space in your freezer, fill it with frozen water bottles. They act like block ice, slowing down the thawing process. Each frozen bottle is a thermal anchor that buys extra time. A full freezer means more thermal inertia, which means more time. Group 3, let it go. Your vegetables in the drawer, they'll wilt, but they won't kill you. Condiments, ketchup, mustard, soy sauce, these will last for days outside the refrigerator. Fruit, most people can tolerate it without a problem. Don't waste time and energy worrying about what isn't urgent. Focus on what will kill you if you mess it up. The rest is secondary. Now I'm going to tell you something an old farmer taught me. If the meat is defrosting and you have absolutely no way to cook it, salt. That's right, table salt. Cover the meat completely with salt, every inch, as if you were breading it. Preservation with salt isn't perfect, but it buys days instead of hours. A trick from an old Iowa farmer. If Meat is thawing and you can't cook it heavily. Salt it, cover it completely. Salt preservation isn't perfect, but it buys days instead of hours. Your great-grandparents did this before refrigeration existed. Sun-dried meat, cod. All of this exists because our ancestors discovered that salt kills bacteria. You don't need electricity to preserve protein. You need knowledge. If by chance the EMP happens in winter, you won the lottery. If it's below freezing outside, move items from the freezer to the balcony or backyard. I did this during a blackout in January 2019. My food stayed frozen longer outside than it would have in a dead freezer. Nature becomes your refrigerator. But beware of animals. Dogs, cats, rats, they all want your food. Protect it in boxes or closed containers. Now that you've saved what you could, sit down, grab a pen and paper. Yes, paper, your cell phone is dead, remember? And write everything you have. Canned goods, grains, pasta, rice, beans, salt, sugar, stored water. Go through the pantry, refrigerator, freezer, and cupboards. Write everything down, every can, every box, every jar, with quantities and calorie content. This document is your survival map. Without it, you'll waste food without knowing when it will run out. With it, you make smart decisions. An average adult needs about 2,000 calories a day to maintain weight and energy. You can survive on less, but performance suffers. Decision-making is compromised. Do the math. If you have 20,000 calories of food, that feeds a person for 10 days at a normal eating level. But what if you ration to 1,200 calories a day? 16 days. 6 extra days to find a solution, receive help, or replenish supplies. The difference between despair and tranquility is a matter of mathematics. Food protected, water guaranteed. You are light years ahead of 90% of people right now, but there's a problem. That money in your bank. Account? That balance in the bank app. Credit card in your pocket. All of this has become fiction. Because the system that gave value to your digital money, it just disappeared. How much do you have in your account right now? 1,000, 5,000, 50,000, it doesn't matter. This number has just become a fantasy. Every ATM is dead. Every credit card has become a useless piece of plastic. Every payment app is a black screen. Your digital assets, they only exist on servers that no longer connect. Now, there is only one thing that buys food, water, and security: physical money, banknotes, notes, paper money. A 2024 Federal Reserve study found that the average American carries less than $50 in physical cash. Most people can't buy anything 2 days after a crisis because their wealth exists only on dead servers. And in Brazil, it's even worse. How many people do you know who carry more than 100 reais in their pocket? Search your entire house, wallet, drawers, clothing pockets, that birthday envelope, children's piggy bank. Collect every banknote, every coin, and keep it in a safe place. Keep small bills handy. 2, 5, 10, 20 reais. In a collapse scenario, nobody will have change for 100 real bills. They can't check them and they won't risk taking a loss. Don't flaunt that you have money. Don't show it off. Save it carefully and use it strategically. I saw what happened in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. For weeks, physical money moved goods while digital systems took months to return. Those who had money ate. Those who only had a credit card were essentially begging. But here's the hard truth. Physical money works for a few days, maybe weeks. After, direct exchange, bartering, the economy of your grandparents, food for water, protection through medication, skill in sourcing supplies. Those who know how to do something useful, repairing, building, healing, become rich. Anyone who only knows how to use a computer, good luck. Now you have guaranteed water, food, and money. But what about your family? His wife went to work. His children are at school. His parents are on the other side of town. Your phone is dead. WhatsApp doesn't exist. You have no way of knowing if they're okay. How do you find the one you love when all modern communication has disappeared? Think about it. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday. EMP is happening. His wife is at work, 12 kilometers away. Your son is at school, 5 kilometers away. His mother lives on the other side of town, and there's no way to talk to any of them. Dead cell phone, dead internet, dead landline. The silence is deafening, and the question that won't leave my head, are they okay? Do you know what most people do at that time? He runs off aimlessly, without a plan. I'm going to get my son. I need to find my wife. I have to see my mother. And then Chaos ensues. You're going to your wife's workplace. She went out to look for you at home. Their paths cross. Without them knowing, she arrives at the empty house. You arrive at her empty workplace. And now home. Hours wasted, energy spent, panic multiplied. This is where planning ahead saves relationships and possibly lives. The solution is simple, but it needs to be agreed upon beforehand. First step and primary meeting point. Define a place where everyone will go if something happens and communication fails. For my family, it's our home. If something happens during work hours, my wife knows I'm going home, and I know she's doing the same. We don't wander aimlessly. We converge on a predetermined location. No discussion, no doubt, no improvisation. Second step, secondary meeting point. What if the house is inaccessible? Fire, flood, dangerous area. What's plan B? A relative's house? A specific park? A church? Decide today. Third step, and contact outside the city. In regional disasters, long-distance lines often operate when local lines do not. Choose an uncle, cousin, or friend who lives far away. This person becomes the information hub. Everyone calls her, she forwards the messages. If you have children in school, find out now, what is the school's emergency protocol? Most have plans for reunification. They keep the children safe on site until their parents arrive. Know where to look, know who can look. Have this information documented. Remember the Faraday box I mentioned. A working emergency radio may be your only link to information. A working flashlight can light your way for months. If you've ever protected an AM/FM radio with a battery or a hand crank, it may be your only connection to the outside world. Emergency alerts, news, information about what's happening beyond your neighborhood. Without information, you operate in the dark, literally and figuratively. Now you know how to bring your family together, but there's one question nobody wants to ask. What happens when other people find out that you have water, food, and supplies? When hunger strikes, good people do bad things. I'm going to tell you an uncomfortable truth. In the first 3 days of the crisis, people help each other, neighbors share, strangers collaborate, everyone is supportive. But on the 5th day? On the 7th, not 10th, the rules change. I'm not talking about criminals. I'm talking about your neighbor, that nice guy who greets you every morning. He has 3 children. He didn't prepare anything. The food ran out 2 days ago. And he knows, or suspects, that you have supplies. What do you think he does? Desperate people are not bad. They are desperate. During the Texas freeze of 2021, documented cases showed people breaking into homes in search of warmth, food, or water. Not criminals, desperate people. Desperation blurs normal social boundaries. Your home is your greatest asset. Treat it as such. First step, map the entry points. Doors, windows, garage, roof access, basement. Lock everything up. If you have the materials, reinforce the ground floor windows, boards. Move heavy furniture to the front. You're not building a bunker. You're removing easy opportunities. Second step, sabobandi. Assess what you have for your defense. It doesn't have to be a firearm, baseball bat, heavy flashlight, pepper spray, baton, knife. Something is better than nothing. Third step, establish surveillance. If you're with family or neighbors, someone stays awake while others sleep. 4 hours on, 4 hours off. Exhaustion kills judgment. Tiredness makes you make stupid decisions. Listen carefully. Don't advertise what you have. No lights on if you have a generator. No smell of food if you're the only one with supplies. The gray man principle. Look as screwed up as everyone else. If your house is the only one lit up on the block, you painted a Baha'u'llah target on your back. Be invisible. Now comes the part that seems contradictory. You can't do this alone. Don't even try. Yes, protect your supplies, but also build alliances. Reliable neighbors, people with complementary skills. 3 weeks offline, people with strong community ties are eating better, sleeping more safely, and maintaining their sanity. Those in isolation suffer. A united neighborhood is safer than a house alone. But choose wisely. Not everyone deserves your trust. Build your inner circle carefully. You protected water, food, money, family, and your home. Survive the first week? You can do it. But what about the second week, the first month, the third month? The Congressional Committee on EMP estimated that a nationwide grid failure could take 1 to 3 years for full restoration. Years. How do you maintain your sanity when the world doesn't go back to normal? In the final chapter, the mindset that separates those who survive unscathed from those who merely survive. I'm going to tell you the truth that few coaches admit. Most people don't die of hunger or thirst. He dies of despair, mental breakdown, panic, stupid decisions made by broken minds. You can have enough water for 3 months, but if your mind breaks down in the 3rd week, none of that matters. This is the step where most people go wrong. They endure the first day, maybe the first week, then they fall apart because they haven't changed their mindset. Do you know why? Because they keep waiting for things to go back to normal. Every day they wake up thinking, today, the power comes back on. And when he doesn't come back, hope turns to frustration. Frustration turns to anger. Anger turns to despair. You're not in survival mode. You're in sustainable living mode. The difference? Survival is about enduring until the end. Sustainable living is about building a new routine that works. It seems silly, doesn't it? Routine in a crisis. It's the most important thing you can create. Establish a schedule. Wake up time, meal times, chores, rest time. Structure prevents psychological breakdown. Humans need rhythm, especially in chaos. Set fixed times for waking up, first meal, daily tasks, second meal, free time, wakefulness, and rest. When everything seems out of control, your routine is the control. Set small goals. Today, reinforce the back door. Tomorrow, inventory the tool shed. Next week, establish a rainwater harvesting system. Progress keeps morale high. Every day, a new achievement. It doesn't need to be big, but it needs to exist. People without purpose wither away. People with a mission move forward. Assign tasks. Who takes care of the water? Who prepares the food? Who ensures security? Who monitors information? Divide responsibilities. Everyone contributes. Idle people become problems. Children can help. The elderly can contribute. Everyone needs to feel useful. Usefulness breeds dignity. Dignity breeds sanity. Plan for your mental health. Boredom and fear are just as dangerous as hunger. If you have books, read them. Board games, play them. Musical instruments, play them. I watched a documentary about the siege of Sarajevo in the 90s. People lived under siege for more than 3 years. The survivors weren't just those who had food. They were the ones who maintained their culture, those who gathered for music, who told stories, who refused to let the crisis erase their humanity. To survive is not just to not die. It's about continuing to be human. An EMP, economic probability model, is low probability, high consequence. The chances of it happening tomorrow are slim, but what if it happens? Everything changes. And here's the trick. You don't need to wait for an EMP to benefit from these lessons. Hurricanes knock out power for weeks. Cyber attacks bring down infrastructure. Ice storms kill power grids. Everything I taught you works for any crisis, not just electromagnetic pulses. What separates you from the other 90%? Do you remember the beginning? 90% of people would not be prepared. Now you know how to confirm an EMP, how to secure water in 30 minutes, how to save weeks of food, why physical cash is king, how to reunite your family without communication, how to protect your home and community, how to keep your mind intact. You are no longer part of the 90%. Knowledge without action is merely entertainment. You've read this far. Now the question is, what are you going to do with it? I gave you the map. Walking is up to you. Start today. Set a meeting point with your family. Collect 200 Rs in small bills. Buy 20 extra liters of water. Take inventory of the pantry. Small steps, big results. Preparation is not paranoia. Preparation is responsibility. With the person you love. With myself. When the day comes and you remain calm while everyone else panics, you will remember this moment. This was the moment you decided to prepare. The moment when he stopped being a victim and became a survivor. Until next time, stay in peace.